Hearts, Swords, Flowers. Shoujo Anime Role-Playing. This is a source book for BESM, or as you all know it as, Big Eye, Small Mouth. And this is not by the Guardians of Order, but this is a resource book for it, used with permission. The themes for this are conventions and routine characteristics, as well as themes applied to shoujo or young women's media. This kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones and Legend of the Five Rings, to be honest, which makes it very interesting. It's because of the content and maturity of which shoujo is actually presented in, and some of the ideas contained within it are mature, and they go about teaching certain values or characteristics of societal norms, especially in Japan. And my biggest complaint, though, is that this is more of an overview and generalization of a genre than a role-playing resource guide. That being said, after reading this, very little content is actually applicable to exclusively to Big Eye, Small Mouth. I think this would help a lot of people find characteristics or think about characteristics in different ways for their character to relate to others, and there's such little actual content in here that is exclusive to Big Eye, Small Mouth that this will just work for ideas and themes. And I'm not Japanese, but after reading this, I think I have a better understanding of how a culture that is foreign to me appreciates certain values, and the way they think about almost a social contract, if you will. Everybody's held to a standard. My highest praise is the mechanics section in Chapter 5 is highly usable. And what do I mean by that? It's that there's a section on, well, what if your character wants to get vengeance on an enemy, and they basically have a resource pool for dramatizing the way events unfold, and that's really cool. But it's a limited resource pool, and your character only has so many points to distribute between their quirks. And they don't call them quirks, but essentially that's what they are. And they are excellent for helping the GM establish milestones. Let's see. The key points in this are comedy and tragedy on pages 9 and 10, symbolism on pages 11 and 12, character types and shoujo themes on pages 17 through 37, conflict and scale on page 39 and 40, comic motivations on 41 through 44, serious motivations on 44 through 47, levels of villainy on pages 48 and 49, relationships on pages 52 and 53, shonen versus shoujo on page 58, character development on page 59 and 60. The character development is as an actual person develops rather than character advancement in the role-playing sense. Mechanics on pages 71 through 77. General options for both players and game masters on page 78 through 85. And the appendix character checklist on pages 86 through 88. The pros are that there are five example characters. The book is more about role playing to character specific plots than it is about a genre. Like it's the genre is deeply tied into the character specific plot. The con, though, is that there is talk about societal norms, and some people may be put off by this, but the material is character centric, and ultimately it's up to you. The book even advises you to play within player comfort. Um, do I recommend this? Yeah. This is for players and GMs that want to add a variety of themes that are player centric to whatever game you are playing. I mean, you don't have to play Big Eye, Small Mouth in order to use this, and honestly, some of the mechanical options are great. Um, this is Kyber 1. This is recommended with a. I'm holding back a little bit just because of how some people might view the content, but it does tell you to use what you find useful. Recommended Kyber Mount.